Hi, Sana and Sarah. So, for my student activation assignment 3 for digital teaching and learning in higher education, I will be presenting quizzes as my tool. I really like quizzes because it's quite a powerful tool and a platform that work across different devices, mobile phone, tablet, of course, inside the browser. And then it has a lot of unique features which I will of course be presenting, of course, also. And then of course it's quite similar alongside with Kahoot, which I presented in one of the courses before, but then I don't want to use the same thing again, so I decided to use something different. I Yeah, as we're going to see now, it's pretty much easy. And then you just go here. Of course, I've signed up already. You go here, you put a quiz or even a lesson that you can create instructor-led experience where slides and multimedia are combined, and you can also create poll quizzes and questions. So that's also another powerful features that is there. I've not tried it, I don't know. Of course, it's better, so you have to pay for it. So, but anyway, you can also join here, which I'm going to, of course, show later for the teacher and also for the students. So, and I actually build this around, I build my question, which of course I will also share the link to the question around this course that I presented earlier, Elements of AI. So, I've created earlier a question about, let's see, go back home, a question about my library, maybe go here. Yeah, a question about intro to AI and machine learning. And then, yeah, let's see what it is. So 5 questions. One about the multiple choice question, as you can see. And then this one, only one answer is correct. And this one, you can have more than one answer. And then, yeah, something like that. And of course, also completion, fill in the gap questions. But ideally, you just go here, you said quiz. So it launched that for you. And of course, you can put some name. Let's call it text. The test, you can put something that relates to. Then you start. So multiple question, some test, and answer 1, answer 2, and so on like that, something like this. So you have to select which one is the correct one, of course. And you can also add some pictures, some videos, some image, which is really powerful, I would say, as from the teacher perspective now. I would also, of course, explain also from the student perspective. So now I have it there, so I can easily see my question here, check boxes with filling the gap, poll. When you put a poll, it's not part of, the student will not see the grade. I mean, it's not graded. And then, yeah, so you don't really, I'm not going to use this. It's only if you want to get some feedback immediately, also you can use it. And of course, you can add your image and stuff like that in case you share it. So now I will go to my presentation, which I've made already. So I'll go back to the beginning quickly. So as a student now, you just have to put your name using the code I showed earlier. Of course, I'm also going to test it for you to see. You can do some setting about the music, sound effects, like if you get an answer correct or stuff like that, some meme, which is just there to kind of activate you more and just make it more fun and interesting. And of course, you can also read aloud for some accessibility issue, which is very, very important for people that have some accessibility needs. Yeah, and of course the advanced setting, let's assume that now I've already finished my quiz as I showed earlier. I can put more advanced setting, like I can, apart from the basic setting from the music and all this kind of stuff, I can put a number of time, like people can attempt it, they can attempt it. Is it 3 times, 2 times, or unlimited? And of course, you can also use some randomly generated names, as we see like in some other tools like the apps and stuff like that, or you just put your own. You can also show the answers during activities, or you just turn it off. You can also show answer after activities. These tools are very powerful because assuming you're using it with large students and some students are not very comfortable, and some sort of like a leadership board or scoreboard that you don't want to feel so much like pressure and stuff like that. You can of course turn all this off so people don't necessarily see who is leading who or stuff. Or you just use some random name, you enforce it. And of course also some adaptive question bank whereby you generate a unique set of questions every time so people do not necessarily copy. And of course it's also a it's also a paid It's also a paid feature. Beta, sorry, I said it wrong the other time. A paid feature, you have to pay money for it, but the beta version is not yet ready. It's just in terms of testing. So this is like a sample. You can of course use a team or classic that participants at their own pace. They can do it anytime and they can just study along or individually. You can also make it as a test, which are very good feature, I believe. And of course, if you can also see more options here, there are some power-ups which even make it more engaging and highly interesting. So when I play, you're gonna also see it. It's just to give you some extra chance to try some question again or some special preference. And as I said, you can of course turn off this leadership board if you don't want to see it. You can of course shuffle the question, which is very good at every point in time. You can also make it random, or you do it to a fellow kids and stuff like that. These are really powerful features that basically come for free. And then, as I said, this is the code for the quiz I've created. So the platform again is Quizzes. Of course, it's similar to Kahoot and the rest like them, which is really good enough. And the student can also pause in between, and then they can take their time. They can like rethink it, and at the end also they can also see the entire summary of what they did wrong and what they got right and what are the correct answers, which could also help students to have a kind of group discussion. Also, teacher also can, oh, why is this correct? Why is this wrong? And stuff like that. And of course, you put it there. You join the quiz, and this is for all the students. For example, now you can, as I said, multiple questions. You can easily choose more than one or just one option. For example, which of the following is an example of AI solution? So of course, this is not an example of an AI solution. I can of course turn off the music and stuff like that. I can zoom in for also accessibility, which is very important. And of course, you can also pause, as I was saying, even in between the quizzes. And then, yeah. And at the end of each question, student can also see if they get it right. Or of course, the admin can turn this off if they don't want them to see. And then you also have different kind of questions, as I said, multiple questions, or fill in the gap, true and false questions, and of course also fill in the gap question, which is also very powerful in case you want to reinforce some specific concepts that requires a lot of terms and new terms and stuff like this. And of course, from the teacher side, you can also see who is playing and what did they score, and with the leadership board, the questions, and all this kind of stuff. So now let's quickly go straight away to the game itself, and then I will go back to the other quiz, which I've started earlier. So I think it should be in my library, and then I will just start a live quiz, classic. Yep. So these are all the settings I was talking about. So you can start it as many as possible. I've tested it before, so I just say continue. So with the same features. And of course now it gave me another code this time around, which is good. You can easily use it for different people at different point in time. So this is copied to my dashboard, which is really good. So for me to test it, I went to this incognito. So I will go to quizzes websites. So quizzes.com, and then now it loads. So enter code, as easy as that. I put the code there. Now I can enter some name. If you don't want, you can put some random name, or you just auto-generate it from the admin side. So I will say test again. I can turn off the music or the sound effect and stuff like that. So test. Now it's going to say that you're the first to join. You can choose your team. You can change it. You can do different kind of stuff, but it will not allow this to start until I, as an instructor, I come here and I start it. So which is really good. So you can also in the class just try to use it for some discussion. Then you just pause it. People start at the same time and stuff like that. So it's counting down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So you have it there. So for example, now what is artificial intelligence? Cool things, this and that. Some spelling mistake there. So yeah, I think this is the right answer. Yeah. Then this is the emoji I'm talking about. Just to relax. You can remove it if you don't want it, of course. And this is the leadership board. So for example, I think Hive is correct answer. It's an example of the annotation tool, which is really good. That's also still correct. Then of course we need a lot of, yes, of course we have to be very careful about it. Biases are correct also. So that is showing also the progress and everything. And of course, which of the following is an example of AI solution? Image spam filter, yeah, this and this, they're all example, but not of course storing or retrieving data from database. Now these are the power-ups. So this gives you extra like advantage. Everyone get 50% more. So something like this, just to boost up the morale in the quiz environment. And the last question is about which of the following statements are correct. So an AI solution, we have, so yeah, we cannot say an AI solution, but we can say we have AI apply. Yeah, that's not also correct. This and this, I think they are the correct ones. So submit, and there we have it. So, and that's it. So that's the tool. I think, as you can see, I've also like demo it, and this is what I was saying. At the end, you can see all these. Of course, the rank is just one of one, number of correct times, and of course the time average. And I got 5 in a row. That's why I have these. And here I can also review the answer. This is the correct answer and all this kind of stuff. So I can also see my own answer. So students can go back and just review what they have done in the class and learn over time. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for listening. And here to the teacher side, you can also of course see also those students that have concluded that have completed the quiz and stuff like that. And of course you can also see the question again, which one they got wrong and which one they actually did not get right. And yeah, you can play again, you can listen as a practice, you can repeat questions, and that's it. Thank you for listening and have a good time. So my own personal feedback, as I said earlier, is that I think it's very like attractive. As you can see, design is very good, it's very engaging. And some problem with of course blind people cannot really use this, but of course they have this possibility to read aloud, so which is really good. And it works across different devices, and it's decent free tools like for like no money. So I think it's good, and I would of course really like to use it in my future classes. Thank you. Bye.